Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So today we've had a brand new development diary for Warhammer The Old World. So in this video we'll go through everything we've seen on the article and then we'll do a little bit of speculation at the end because that's always fun. But it's been 4 years now since we first heard about The Old World, and it's fair to say information has been pretty scarce, even though we were told right at the beginning that this would be something of a slow burn. But now it seems things are slowly ramping up. Last month we had an Old World development diary focused on the Empire, where Rob Alderman sat down with the Warcom team to discuss the various Empire regions we might see, and also a potential timeline too. I did cover this in a separate video, I'll leave a link on the screen now if you want to watch that. And during that video I also suggested that these Old World development diaries might be a bit more frequent, eventually building up to what I think is going to be an Old World release in summer 2024, but we'll have to wait and see, more on that later. In that video I also mentioned that Tomb Kings were my favourite army, and today we've had an Old World development diary focused on Tomb Kings. So I think there's going to be a lot of happy Undead players today, I should say. So Rob Alderman sat down once again, this time with Old World writers Jonathan and Dan, to provide some more info on the Land of the Dead and Settra the Imperishable, King of Khemri. And according to Rob, Settra, Nehekara and the other Tomb Kings are going to be big players in the lore for Warhammer The Old World, and their invasions are going to play a key part in the narrative at this time during the history of the setting, so that's interesting. So the Warcom team went on to ask them, so what interest does Settra have in the lands of the living and the people that live in the Old World? Jonathan explained that Nehekara once stretched far beyond the horizon. Settra's legions marched east and west across deserts and mountains until they reached distant coasts, which is especially interesting if you look east as well. I mean, just how far did they get to the east? So that could be good for potential exploration. And also to the north, Settra's dominion including the lands that we now know as the Empire and Bretonnia, so that's pretty interesting. But following his death, the rulers who followed on from Settra lacked the will and ambition to maintain such a massive kingdom, and over the centuries, the great domain of Nehekara shrank to a shadow of its former glory. So when Settra awoke once again, he was not a happy Tomb King. Not only was his body not the image he'd imagined, but his great dynasty had crumbled to insignificance in his absence. Since that day, Settra has been plotting the reconquest of the places that he considers are his, and the subjugation of the usurper kings, queens and emperors who dare to rule in his stead. So no doubt we'll see these plans of conquest set into motion when the time is right, which definitely gives off the impression that Tomb Kings are going to play a big part in the Old World lore. And if there's going to be some sort of running narrative, I think they're definitely going to be up there as well. When asked about how Tomb Kings might play in Warhammer The Old World, Dan went on to say that the team have taken a great deal of care to make the undead work, but that's their words, not mine, just a quick disclaimer there in case they don't work. But Dan also stated that it's important that Tomb Kings are balanced, but they also want to maintain that theme of what made Tomb Kings so awesome. You know, like ranks of skeleton warriors marching along in unison, but then you've got your undead chariots and weird undead beasties like the Necro-Sphinx. And not only that, apparently Tomb Kings will also be able to wield the powers of a Lich Priest again, so commanding skeletal hordes to arise from their tombs and march upon the Old World again, is what it says in the article. So really looking forward to seeing how these guys play. In terms of the Old World, maybe exploring the Land of the Dead, Rob said the main focus is going to be on what Settra and the Tomb Kings did in the Old World itself. Maybe there's nothing to stop them returning to Nehekara in the future. He did say there's plenty of instances where, you know, Tomb Kings were waging war upon one another like lesser Tomb Kings, while Settra's busy off smashing people up in the Old World. And not only that, there's also raiders and adventurers from, you know, up in the Old World that have come to Nehekara in search of treasure, so maybe there's a little bit of potential there, but who knows. I think the main focus for now will be focused up on what they're doing in the Old World, but it's a great update. I've been looking forward to hearing about Tomb Kings for a while now. We've also got some great artwork, we've got some nice maps and some new art as well for Tomb Kings, so really looking forward to seeing how these turn out. And not only that, I'm pretty certain now that Tomb Kings are going to be in the starter set. If there is indeed a starter set, which I think there will be, I'm hoping this is going to be like the Horus Heresy, where we're going to get a big massive starter box and a big chunky rule book with a lot of the stuff in it that we need. Now, I'm just going to put it out there, I think it's going to be Empire versus Tomb Kings in the starter set. This is just me saying that's what I think it is. I've not heard anything rumour-wise that would corroborate that. That's just what I think it is. Not only that, I think we're going to be looking at summer 2024 for the release. I think we're going to be building up to that. This year is Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, so the focus will be on that. But I'm hoping that now these development diaries are going to be a little bit more frequent. Maybe this time next month we might see one on Bretonnia, or maybe they're going to be every other month. But fingers crossed, things are going to start ramping up and we're going to get more and more information on Warhammer The Old World. And maybe even at Warhammer Fest we might see the glimpse of a miniature. Maybe it's just a part like they did for Sisters or World Eaters, or maybe we'll see a full miniature itself. Fingers crossed. But anyway, that's it for today. That's everything in the article. I know it's just me reading out what's in the article, but some people like to listen along while they're painting or modelling rather than just read the stuff, so that's why I've made this video. But anyway, that's it for now. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think about Tomb Kings. What's your favourite army for Warhammer The Old World, and what are you looking forward to seeing next in an Old World development diary? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't enjoy it, just leave me a comment, let me know why. All that's left to say is thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.